The Crawford Nickel Project is a new nickel discovery. We initially made the discovery in 2019 in a very short period of time. We've continued to make a number of improvements to the project. We delivered a PEA in May of 2021. We updated the mineral resource earlier this year, which doubled the measured and indicated resource to over 1.4 billion tons, and increased the resource to over 5 million tons. Yeah, we'll be completing a feasibility study by the end of this year in 2022. One of the important dimensions of this type of mineral deposit is that the waste rock and tailings spontaneously absorb CO2. So earlier this year, we released the results of some in-process tailings carbonation, IPT carbonation work that we've been done that's shown that we can absorb 21 tons of CO2 per ton of nickel produced. So not only can we be a zero carbon operation, but we've got the opportunity to generate a substantial number of carbon credits that the mining operation can take advantage of. We filed for permits earlier this year and expect a 3-year period to complete both the provincial and federal process. So we'll have all of our permits in place to build the operation in mid-2025 and on track for a first production by the end of 2027. One of the most important things is as large and as important as Crawford is as a standalone discovery, we assembled a land package which has a number of additional targets to Crawford. And so we've put together 42 square kilometers of the right geophysical footprint, which is 50 times the footprint for the Crawford main zone, which on its own is about 2.5 million tons. So in terms of the scale of the type of nickel discovery that we're looking at, we think this will be a very, very large operation. And earlier this fall, we announced that we made a discovery that had a footprint that was already 90% of Crawford and could potentially be much larger than the Crawford nickel deposit that we are taking through the feasibility study. One of the key advantages of the project is the location. Timmins is a 100-year-old gold mining camp. There are mines in and around Timmins. We have all the major infrastructure in place that you would need to develop a large-scale mining project in terms of rail, highway, power lines from low-carbon sources of electricity located just to the north of the mine site. And so in terms of a location to build a large-scale operation, where we are at Crawford is about the ideal location going forward. Just over a year ago, 18 months ago, we put out our PEA on the deposit, and we were very happy with the scale of performance and scale of the asset that the PEA demonstrated. In terms of cash costs, we were in the first quartile of the cash cost curve. We would be in the lowest decile of the carbon curve. This does not include any of the benefits of our waste rock and tailings absorbing carbon. So again, that number we expect to be close to -21 by the time we're in production. We would be the 5th largest sulfide resource today. So again, in very good company with some very, very large other nickel operations globally. And we would be the largest nickel, one of the 5 largest nickel sulfide operations and the largest base metal mine in Canada. So again, the scale of operation that the major mining companies are looking for, and with an ability to generate substantial volumes of nickel that the market is desperately looking for going forward. In the feasibility study, there's a number of improvements. One is a doubling of the resource. We've made some significant improvements to recovery of nickel, iron, and chrome going forward. We believe we can capture a significant amount of carbon through the operation of this project, and we will achieve additional payability from cobalt and PGM content in the various nickel concentrates that we're producing. Just very quickly, I will highlight, in terms of the carbon capture potential, which is such a key issue today. If you look at the picture here on the right-hand side. If you look at the core on the top of the picture, generally the core is dark black to dark green. Within a year, any of that rock has a white coating all over that rock. That white coating is a mineral called magnesite. That's a magnesium carbonate mineral. And how it got there is the magnesium silicate mineral in the dark rock has basically reached out to the environment, grabbed a CO2 molecule, and spontaneously converted itself to magnesite, which is that white mineral that's coating the material. The work that we've done in terms of carbonating in process shows an ability to very quickly achieve very substantial carbon capture levels, and we continue to optimize that. And we think will be a substantial, capture of CO2 going forward, and will generate a significant number of CO2 credits going forward. Most recently, in the last few weeks, we've been releasing some of our regional exploration results, where we were able to step around based on the geophysics that we use from the Ontario government to target some of the drilling on our other targets in the region. Reed is 16 kilometers west-southwest of our project, and we are very happy that the first 16 drill holes all hit dunite and have delineated a mineral footprint that's already 90% of the scale of Crawford. And we think with additional drilling in this area and down to the south, be at a point where it'll be actually a multiple of what we have at Crawford. So, in terms of the overall resource and scale of resource that we've got, Crawford is exciting, as it's already one of the 5 largest nickel sulfide operations globally. But again, we believe we've got a footprint that'll be a multiple of what we've got at Crawford, and be one of the largest, if not the largest, nickel sulfide footprint globally. We've seen a significant amount of corporate activity already to date in the nickel sulfide sector. Effectively, all of the larger known nickel sulfide projects that have been around for the last 10 years have already attracted a significant mining partner. And we think our project, as people get to know it, as it's only been 3 years, as they get to know it over the next few years, we'll see additional corporate activity in our space. They tend to trade out at very premium valuations when you have a new discovery, and Crawford is one of the largest new discoveries in many, many years. And again, we don't see any reason why we wouldn't attract a similar kind of valuation. Through 2022, we've had a target list of things that we want to accomplish, and we've been very successful in accomplishing these objectives. We completed a financing earlier this year in early March. We provided a resource update to the market at the end of June. We filed for our initial permits back in July of this year, setting the clock ready for a mid-2025 receipt of those permits, and we remain on track to deliver a feasibility study later this year in Q4. Thank you very much for listening to the presentation, and please reach out with any questions after the seminar if you need any further information. Thank you.